Watching Eminem showcase an array of cool sneakers in his new music video Houdini really highlights just how much of a sneakerhead he actually is. Each pair gets plenty of screen time, reminding us of Marshall's deep passion for kicks. While he hasn't officially given us a tour of his sneaker closet, there are plenty of glimpses and hints scattered around. In this video, I compiled all those bits and pieces to give you a sense of what Eminem's sneaker collection looks like. We'll dive into the sneakers he mentions in his music, explore his well-known and lesser-known sneaker collabs. We'll also discover why Eminem chose to speak about the first pair of Nikes Proof gave him during his funeral. So let's rummage through his sneaker closet, or should I perhaps say, let's start cleaning out my closet and see what we find. In Eminem's track Rose from the Revival album, he raps about how Proof once gave him a pair of brand new Nikes to wear to school.
But no more me and you gave me shoes, Nikes like new for me for school.
This line offers a glimpse into where his love for sneakers began. It's clear that those Nikes from Proof weren't just shoes. They were a symbol of their bond and the start of Eminem's passion for sneakers. Eminem also recounts this incident in his autobiography, The Way I Am. He writes, "What I remember most is his kindness. This is the dude who, when I was broke as f***, came to my house and made me get rid of the thrift store loafers my mother had bought me, with both sides 10. He came over to my crib and was like, 'What the f*** is on your feet?' Then he handed me a pair of Nikes that were pretty much brand new. It was one of those moments where I wanted to cry." Sneakers were especially important in US schools during the 80s. Wearing dirty old sneakers often made kids easy targets for bullying. Proof noticed that Marshall was embarrassed by his thrift shop loafers, and instead of teasing him, handed over his nearly new Nikes and told him to wear that instead. This act of kindness not only sparked Marshall's interest in sneakers, but also solidified their long-lasting friendship. Eminem didn't just rap about this moment, he also mentioned it in his eulogy at Proof's funeral.
The Sean that I knew, he took a pair of shoes and he threw them out of my feet. And he said, "Put those on." And I said, "Put them on for what?" And he said, "'Cause I'm tired of you wearing them dirty ass shoes."
Yo, the pain in his voice. I'm not saying that moment is important because of sneakers, but I do think him receiving that gift and him thinking back at it, it just means a lot to him. And, you know, his sneaker collection probably reminds him of that moment, and it has a sentimental value for him. When Eminem appeared on Sneaker Shopping with Complex, he mentioned that sneakers make up 90% of an outfit. He also shared that growing up poor, his mother would make him choose between new clothes or a new pair of shoes, and he always chose sneakers.
I've always felt like shoes are like 90% of your outfit. I remember being a kid and my mom would say, "You can buy a pair of shoes and then that's it."
Right.
And you're gonna have to get your outfits from Goodwill and whatever. But I would always pick the shoes.
Despite being one of the most successful recording artists of all time, Eminem doesn't take anything for granted. Even after the massive success of his second album, the Marshall Mathers LP, he still called his manager Paul to ask if he could afford a $10,000 Rolex.
Spending money? Clearly not.
Not particularly.
I heard a story that you wanted to buy a watch, and at this point, you had sold millions of albums, that you wanted to buy a watch.
I know this story.
Is that true? You called up your manager to see if you could afford to buy the watch?
Yeah. I think it was a Rolex. Was it a Rolex? It was a Rolex. And I asked him, could I afford it? Because they make fun of me for it, but I'm for real. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, this is the whole money thing, all that stuff was brand new to me. I still have that Rolex.
Yeah, but it's not like, you know, that's...
I don't wear it because I don't want to get a scratch on it.
Is that right? Is that true?
Yeah.
So what are you wearing right now?
This is a G-Shock. It's probably about $100.
The humility extends to his sneaker game as well. When asked about his insanely expensive Jordan 4 collabs on the aftermarket, he responded just like me and you.
Encore Jordans, which I saw last week at a store in New York City for $75,000.
If people want to pay, you know, a ridiculous amount of money for shoes, you know, I understand the collector, we'll just give it to charity. It's kind of how we figured.
Given his humble approach, it's not surprising that most of the sneakers you see Eminem rocking are ones you can buy without breaking the bank. In his new music video, Houdini, he's wearing Jordan 3 Fear, Jordan 3 Unite, and Air Max 90 Triple White, all available for retail or at reasonable aftermarket prices. He doesn't care how exclusive a sneaker is. Each new pair probably reminds him of the first time Proof gifted him his first Nikes. So even though he probably has an insane sneaker collection, it is nothing like DJ Khaled's, where it's designed for others to be envious of and admiring the grails us normal humans will never be able to buy. There's probably tons of sneakers that DJ Khaled owns but never wears, nor does he like them. He just wants to collect them because they're just that, impossible to get. I'll bet you Eminem has worn every sneaker that he owns, and he only has pairs that he actually likes. Given his collector tendencies, like his vast collection of hip-hop cassette tapes and his insanely huge comic book collection, we can only imagine the sneaker grails Marshall has tucked away in his mansion in Detroit. But he's a humble guy who avoids bling, opting for a G-Shock over his $10,000 Rolex. So while we do know that he has a killer sneaker collection, don't expect Eminem to give us a tour of his sneaker closet anytime soon. Eminem's sneaker collaborations are legendary among sneakerheads. His Jordan 4 Carhartts are currently listed for $32,000 on StockX, and his original Jordan 4 Encores were valued at $75,000 6 years ago. I couldn't even find a current listing with an updated price. Same goes for his ultra rare Air Max 97s, which could be bought for $50,000 last year. The seller even warned that the shoes are, and I quote, unwearable due to their age, and he still managed to sell them. Jordan Brand's Reggie Sanders shared with GQ that he and the former Jordan Brand designer watched 8 Mile repeatedly until they realized how symbolic Marshall's outfit was in the movie, especially his Carhartt jacket.
We sat down and watched 8 Mile together, and then we sat down and watched 8 Mile separately. He's like, I watched it like 8 times, man. I said, me too. I said, the only consistent theme I'm seeing is that Carhartt jacket. And he's like, yeah. He's like, do you think we could go get Carhartt? And the Carhartt folks sent the Carhartt material over to the factory, and we made 23 pair of these. This is the original sample, look-see. Actually, the tag is still in there.
The Nike collaboration that started it all was the legendary Eminem Nike Burst Air Shady. This is the same sneaker you see in the bathroom scene in 8 Mile right before B-Rabbit's first battle. Released after the movie in 2003, it was Eminem's first ever collab with Nike. Each pair is numbered 1 out of 1,000, and some even came in special bags given to audience members at the first public showing of the movie. And for the last part of the video, I did a compilation of all the sneaker references that Eminem did throughout his career. If I happen to miss anything, please let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, I would really love your support. I'm not gonna nag, but you know what to do if you feel like it. Also, if you like sneakers, check out my main channel. There's a bunch of dope reviews. I do a lot of shorts. There's plenty of Eminem stuff in there. Thank you for watching the entire video. I'll see you on the next one.
Where everybody wants to be Pac, and you can be popped over the Nucci unit.
Unlikely pair, like 2 different Nike Airs, but I'm the same size she wears. Guess it's just the way that I'm dressed, ain't it? Khakis pressed, Nike shoes, crispy and fresh lace.
But no more me and you. You gave me shoes, Nikes like new for me for school. Swallow your pride while I step on it with shoes you call Nikes. At least now I can see when Nike's got a new tennis shoe. But stomping in my Air Force Ones, won't be able to tell if it's 2 pairs or it's one. This is gonna feel like so many feet kicking you. You think Nike just made these in the cleats in the shoe? And said the Puma's the brand, cause the clan makes troops. They've been true because man, we done banned their shoes. This Nike shoe, it's in your.
Drops the Air Max in my closet of preposterous Nikes made out of ostrich.